5 seconds to go. Start. The defendant refused to accede to the demand made by the plaintiff in its reply letter dated November 23, 2005. Aggrieved by the refusal, Messrs. Sibco filed the CS number 79 of 2006 for a sum of rupees 3 crore 25 lakh 54,483 from Messrs. Sidbi. The defendant disputed the claim on account of delayed payment, or in other words, delayed redemption of the aforesaid bonds. It was categorically pleaded that a liquidation proceeding was initiated against CRB Capital, who at one point of time was the holder of the aforesaid bonds and sold it to the said Shankar Lal Saraf on February 20, 1997 and on April 7, 1997. The RBI issued a facsimile dated June 9, 1997 advising the defendant not to effect any transfer, register any lien or otherwise deal with such security invested by CRB Capital and its group companies without prior permission of the official liquidator appointed by the company court at Delhi. Since Shankar Lal Saraf as well as the plaintiff were pressing hard for effacing their name on the said bonds, a clarification was sought on December 23, 1997 by the defendant from the RBI seeking advice for further action in the matter on January 29, 1998. The RBI advised the defendant to take up the matter with the official liquidator, which was accordingly done on April 3, 1998. The defendant stated that despite multiple reminders till July 18, 2001, no reply was received from the official liquidator in this regard. The specific stand is that due to the embargo imposed by RBI, the defendant could not act in defiance of the RBI's directions. It is further stated that because of the pendency of the writ petition before the Calcutta High Court, the matter was not taken up and therefore neither the interest nor the redemption was paid. According to the defendant, after the company court order in the liquidation proceeding, the plaintiff's name was put down upon the said bonds and the holder was paid the principal as well as the interest up to the date of redemption. As such, there is no laches, negligence and delay on the part of the defendant to honor the bonds to the plaintiff. The central case projected by the plaintiff was that the amount, both principal and interest, were paid beyond the maturity period and therefore the defendant is liable to pay the interest for delayed payment. According to the plaintiff, the defendant has unreasonably withheld the said amount, whereas the defendant says that because of the embargo and restriction by the RBI and the pending proceedings, the maturity amount was not paid on the date of maturity. The reliance appeared to have been placed by both the sides on the facsimile dated 9th June 1997 issued by the RBI. The learned trial judge in his judgment noted that there is a clear stipulation against affecting any transfer, register any lien or otherwise deal with the securities of CRB Capital, with further stipulation that it should not part with the interest, dividend or principal without the permission of the official liquidator. Additionally, it appears from the order passed by the company court that there was a notification issued on 10th April 1997 under section 45 MB of the RBI Amendment Act 1997 directing the said company not to sell, transfer, create charge or mortgage or deal in any manner with any of its profits and assets without the permission of the RBI for a period of 6 months from the date of the said notification. The official liquidator was appointed on 22nd May 1997, who subsequently treated the subject bonds as fraudulent preference under section 531 of the Companies Act 1956, though it was held by the Company Court vide its judgment dated 17 December 2004 that the transactions are genuine and cannot be declared as fraudulent preference at the instance of the official liquidator. The fact remains that there was some claim over the subject bonds. The RBI is found to be empowered to control the management of the banking company in certain situations and can lay down the parameters enabling banking companies to expand business and regulate the paid up capital, reserve funds, cash funds, and above all, policies in the matter of advances to be made by the banking companies and allocation of resources, etc. Stop.